whole industry mad at me, I said. The B, I said, ho, remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself. I agree, I said, my one-of-a-kind self gets stoned every day like Jesus said. What he said, I said, has been said before. Just keep doing your thing, you said. Say no more.
It's all fucked up now. What I'ma do now? Huh? What I'ma do now? It's all fucked up now.
Let me fix that. I'm muted. Mic check, mic check. Am I clear? Please let me know I'm coming through clear here. Please let me know if I'm coming through clear. Because it was literally 3 years to the day. 3 years to the motherfucking day that the Nets pulled off one of the biggest free agency grabs of all time. One of the biggest signings of all time, where they brought in KD and Kyrie to the Brooklyn Nets. Look, I'm gonna even pull up the tweet for y'all. This is literally June 30th of 2019. KD coming to the Brooklyn Nets. I don't even think I even had Kyrie in the tweet. That's how excited I was. I just knew he was coming. I didn't know KD was coming. Let's run the tape back. Let's run the tape back. Hold on, pull it back. Look at me. I had my hand over my mouth like I'm some. What the hell was I so excited about? If you would have told me 3 years from now, it would be this disaster. 5,000, almost 6,000 views on this video. Me looking like a damn fool. Let's watch this. Look at the hat. The hat was still fresh and crispy. Now it's all dingy and dusty from stress. That's some stress. Look at this. Kid Smooth said it looked like I was twerking in the video. I probably was shaking ass. That's how excited I was. I got a jersey. A Kyrie jersey. Kyrie. I got a whole jersey. And this will probably be the last day you'll ever see me wear this jersey. I appreciate the man that brought this for me. I appreciate the gift. But I'm never wearing this jersey again. It's a wrap. It's over with. Kevin Durant has requested a trade out of Brooklyn. Wow, how the hell did we get here? People? What can I say? I didn't see it coming. From the simple fact that, let me start over. I gotta start from the beginning. Because this is like, I'm a real Nets fan. Like, a lot of people joined the bandwagon when we got KD and Kyrie. I'm a real Nets fan. I'm a Jason Kidd. I'm a Kenyon Martin. I'm a Richard Jefferson Nets fan. Lucius Harris, Kerry Kittles Nets fan. New Jersey Nets fan. Like, that's how deep I go back. I go back to when we got swept by the Lakers in the NBA Finals, only to make it back the year after that to get smoked, gentlemen swept, or I think we might have even won 2 games against the San Antonio Spurs. I'm that kind of Nets fan. So, like, this is deeper than just KD and Kyrie for me. This shit is like, it's like a black cat running around the organization, because anytime you think something's going good, you get smacked in the fucking face with some bullshit. So I got to start, like, not from there, but I'm going to start from when we started getting better. So we had D'Angelo Russell. We had guys like Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Joe Harris. Those guys definitely brought a culture and a swagger back to the Nets. Can't forget Keith Van Horn. Shout out to Xavier. Yes, Keith Van Horn. My guy, Keith Van Horn. Number 44. That's my guy. But going back to, the Brooklyn Nets building a culture and building a young squad, a fun squad. I think a lot of people probably before the Memphis Grizzlies, of today, a lot of people probably had that Nets squad as one of the funnest teams in the NBA. And I would agree. That definitely was a fun squad. I love that team. Like, that team played with passion, with heart every game. They played for Kenny Atkinson, the head coach. They played, like they were brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like a real team. And that was a great team. And, and then I feel like Kyrie and KD saw what we had going on there. And they were more like, okay, let's get over there, because they building a nice culture. And so in order to make things happen, a guy like D'Angelo Russell had to be signed and traded to the Golden State Warriors for KD to make sure, the cap space and stuff work out. And I also think KD wanted to help out the Warriors. He didn't want to leave them high and dry, so he gave him D'Angelo Russell something to work with there. And so we had to get rid of him. And so we had Kyrie, and we still had the young guys except D'Lo, and then KD was rehabbing off the injury. So I'm like, all right, that first year, it's going to be a wash. I never looked at that deal as a bad thing from that perspective, because we pretty much traded D'Angelo Russell for Kyrie and KD. Like, what team wouldn't do that? You know what I'm saying? What team really wouldn't do that? That's a no-brainer. You get one of the best players in the league of all time, and you get a showstopper like Kyrie. So from there, KD was rehabbing his Achilles. And you get Kyrie playing the first season. We didn't really expect much. Kyrie is not a type of player that can carry a team to, playoffs, a long, deep playoff run. So we did make the playoffs that year. Kyrie gets hurt. And that was it. We first round, we got bounced out by Toronto. So the next year comes. And the next year comes, KD. He comes back. KD's back. It's KD and Kyrie. We doing our thing. We doing all right in the playoffs. In the regular season. We about halfway through the season, and they make a trade, a huge trade for James Harden. This team makes a trade for James Harden, and this is where we pretty much gutted our future in order to make room for James Harden to join KD and Kyrie. And I think I might have even tweeted this. I think that trade, I was happy either way. Hindsight is 2020, but when it happened, I was like, I'm cool with it if it happens, and if it doesn't happen, I still think we got a good enough squad to make some noise. And so when it did happen, I'm like, all right, cool. You got literally 3 of the top 15 best players in the league on one team. Everybody was talking about defense. Defense was going to be an issue, and it was, but you still had enough offensive power that could cancel it out. So, we went through the season as one of the best offensive teams in the league. And, Kyrie had his issues with missing time. And this right here was like the first sign of, Kyrie and his situation, is that when Kyrie started having those days where he was taking games off and not telling the team, even I got on him about that. And a lot of people call me a Kyrie defender, but even I got on Kyrie about that. Cause I'm like, Kyrie, listen, you like, I'm okay with people taking days off, because at that time, it was a tough time in the country. The George Floyd stuff, a lot of people was going through stuff. You had Kobe's passing, all these other things like combined, and it probably was overwhelming for him. So he took time off, but he didn't let the team know. He didn't, he didn't communicate that. He didn't let the team know, and that was like the first sign of him kind of doing anything he wants to do without telling nobody. So I'm like, when they called him out like at a party or something like that, I was like, all right, that's kind of crazy. because not only was COVID going on, but you out at a party and, getting tested and all this other stuff. They was having weird testing rules, and you couldn't play it if you were out caught in public. So I'm like, you gotta communicate better. You gotta do better in that sense. And he let a lot of people down. But I felt like after that, he was pretty good. I don't think he missed any games like that and that situation that we had before. I don't think he missed games like that until we get to the pandemic, but that's a little bit later. So we got James Harden, we got Kyrie back, and we got Kevin Durant. We rolling. We make the playoffs. I think we were a top seed. I forget what seed exactly we were. We were the second seed. We were the second seed because we played the Boston Celtics, so I believe we're the 7th seed. And we smoked the Boston Celtics, beat them in 5 games. Get on to Milwaukee Bucks. And that year was our best year to win a title. Because that year we were rolling. We figured out the defense a little bit. We had a middle of the pack defense, and we were rolling on offense. So we go up against Milwaukee Bucks. James Harden gets hurt. I think game 1 of the Milwaukee Bucks series, James Harden gets hurt. He's out for the rest of the series. So now it's just KD and Kyrie. And the series was going good. I felt like we were doing good. I felt like we was going to win that series. It might have went 6 or 7 games, but I felt like we were going to win that series. And then fat foot ass Giannis Antetokounmpo lands on Kyrie's ankle, knowing that his ankles is made out of glass. And what happens? Kyrie gets hurt, and he's out for the rest of the series. So now it's just KD. Now it's just KD by himself trying to hold it down and beat Milwaukee. And and he did pretty good. We got to game 7. He was putting on historical performances. And this man's big ass toe on the line pretty much cost us the series, because in overtime he ain't had nothing left. That was our best shot to win a championship, because I felt like Kyrie might have came back if we proceeded in the playoffs, and James Harden was playing on one leg, so he was pretty much like a decoy, and that was our best shot, and injuries killed it. Injuries killed that year. I look like I'm about to cry. Yeah, I pretty much can cry right now. I pretty much can. So now that brings us to this year, where we have the pandemic, a very real pandemic, a very serious situation. And New York decides that they want to enforce a vaccine mandate. One of the dumbest mandates I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God, I think Mayor Eric Adams is a Knicks fan. And I hope this video reaches. I think he's a Knicks fan, because there's no other reason why that vaccine mandate was placed on athletes. It made no sense whatsoever. Literally, if you were coming from outside of the state and you were unvaccinated, you could play in New York City. But if you were in New York City and you played for New York City and you were unvaccinated, you couldn't play for New York City. What kind of sense does that make? So you telling me, what, there's 2 teams in New York, 30 teams in the NBA? So all the 28 other teams, if they had unvaccinated players, they can come into New York and play. It don't matter if they unvaccinated, vaccinated, got chlamydia, gonorrhea. It don't matter what you got. You can play. But let you be a player for a New York team, and you can't play? What kind of sense does that make? That is specifically targeted at Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Mayor Eric Adams is a Knicks fan. I know he is. So now we got to go through the season, and they're wondering, will Kyrie be a part-time player because he can play in games that are outside the state? And I'm like, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care if he's a part-time player, but the mandate is dumb. Why isn't nobody talking about how dumb this mandate is? It's dumb. So Kyrie chooses not to get vaccinated, and so the best thing they could do is make him a part-time player. So Kyrie is wanting to be a part-time player, but the team is like, nah, we're not going to do that. We want people here that's going to be available at all times. And since he's not vaccinated, he can't be. And guess what? I was 100% cool with that, because when it came to the vaccine, I'm like, I was pro-vaccine. I got the vaccine and I was for it. But for the people that didn't want to get it, I didn't feel like they should be not forced, but I didn't feel like they should need to have taken the vaccine in order to work. I felt like the system we had in place, especially with these athletes, these leagues have millions of dollars, billions of dollars. They were getting tested every day. So what does it matter if you're vaccinated or not if you're getting tested every day? You know what I'm saying? So he was unvaccinated. I feel like if you're getting tested every day, what does it matter for the players? They're not like, it's not like they're going in the stands and talking to fans and shit like that. And for the unvaccinated players, they could have made it so they don't have no contact with fans. But long story short, the vaccine mandate is in place. Nets don't want Kyrie to be a full-time player, and I get it. If you don't want to take the vaccine, you need to take the vaccine in order to play. Cool. I accepted it. I accepted it. I'm like, all right, Kyrie, you don't want to take the vaccine. The Nets need you to take it. You don't want to take it. I was cool with both sides. I'm cool with Kyrie not taking it. I'm cool with the Nets feeling like he can't, well, not feeling forced because he can't play. He don't want to take it, so he can't play. Boom. Halfway through the season comes, and all of a sudden, they want to make him a part-time player. What the fuck? What happened? What changed? What changed? What changed? No vaccine mandate changed. They wanted to make him a part-time player. What changed? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so first you didn't want him to take, and this is a very important part because first you didn't want him to play part-time, and now you want him to play part-time, and no vaccine rules have changed. So I don't get it. They felt like they needed him, right? Cool. Boom. Now, Kyrie comes back as a part-time player, but James Harden doesn't want nothing to do with the Nets no more. He probably doesn't want to deal with Kyrie not taking the vaccine and having a part-time player. He's not with it. He wants to get out of here. He gets traded. The James Harden trade pissed me off the most because we gave up the most for James Harden. That is a trade that I wish we never did. If I have any regrets from this, it's the James Harden trade. Because James Harden being traded, we gave up a lot of good young talent, and we gave up a lot of future draft picks that we could have used to get other players. And James Harden, from the beginning of the season, I saw it in his play ethic. He didn't want to be there no more. He probably knew Kyrie wasn't going to take the vaccine. He knew the mandate was happening. He didn't want to be there no more. You saw it in his play. I was happy we got rid of him. We get back Ben Simmons, a couple draft picks, and a few other players. I was cool with the trade. Ben Simmons, he didn't end up playing. He didn't end up playing. He had his own issues with the back and the mental health. So, wow, what a fucking season. This is crazy. This is all 3 years. And we still not done yet. So, Ben Simmons is here. Kyrie is back. They finally lift the vaccine mandate because baseball. If anybody ever told you that New York, what sport runs New York, is baseball. Let that be known. The Yankees and the Mets run New York when it comes to sports. Once the baseball season was about to get started back up, New York immediately lifted the vaccine mandate. But so tell me about Westbrook. So we gonna get there. We get there. We almost there. So vaccine mandate gets lifted. We continue on our season. Kyrie's full time. No James Harden. Now the Ben Simmons saga comes in. They saying, oh, Ben Simmons is here, but he's having some back soreness, so he's going to rehab that. He should be back towards the end of the season. End of the season gets here. We fighting for a playoff shot because you got all these players in and out being traded. Kyrie part-time, full-time. Even KD got hurt. Even KD gets hurt. He comes back eventually, and we still know Ben Simmons. So we finally get Kyrie back. We got KD back. No Ben Simmons. That drama. I feel like he wasn't going to play anyway. I think what ended up happening is he did hurt his back. And I thought maybe they were using him to say he was going to come back as some type of like motivation for the team. Some type of, something for him to grasp onto mentally to help him get back on the court. But I think once it was known that we was going to get swept by the Celtics, they was like, nah, shut him down. It's no sense on bringing him back for a game 4 when it's over. The series is over. So we get swept in the damn playoffs by the Boston Celtics. One of the worst damn series I've ever seen in my life in terms of 2 superstar players and their performance. No excuses for that. No excuses at all. You couldn't win one game You couldn't win one game as KD and Kyrie. I don't give a fuck if you got janitors and electricians on your team. You couldn't win one game as KD and Kyrie. KD was getting locked up. Kyrie was fasting, and this dude, he disappeared. Like after the first game, I felt like he was nowhere to be found. And we got swept. So now the season is over. Season's over. We get swept by Boston Celtics, laughing stock of the league. And now that the big question hangs over our head of what is going to happen with Kyrie? Because KD already signed long term. He signed a 4-year extension. And so I felt like he was secure. I felt KD was secure in the contract that he signed. And they was just waiting on Kyrie to sign the extension. But then you start hearing little inklets of doubt out in the media. And I'm never one to like take the media as 100% fact. But, some things that they say, they ain't getting it from nowhere. They're getting it from somewhere. So the first thing I heard was KD hasn't spoken to the league office since the season ended. And I think my brother, shout out to my boy Ricky in the chat, he was like, yo, what you think about this? And I'm like, oh, it's nothing. KD's on vacation, off season. What do you need to talk to the office for? What do you need to talk to the Nets organization for? He already got his extension. There's no problem. And then you start hearing the Nets ain't want to give Kyrie a long-term contract. They want him to prove himself, want him to opt in, prove himself, and then they can talk from there, or they give him a short-term deal so he can prove himself. And when I first heard that, I thought it was some bullshit. And I still think it's some bullshit. Because, and y'all can disagree with me all y'all want. What happened last season with the pandemic the pandemic is literally once in a century type of thing. Something like that does not happen all the time. And the fact that they put so much stock into what happened last year of him not taking the vaccine, a mandate like that, I promise you, will never happen again for sports athletes. It probably will never happen again. You saw how quickly they lifted it when the Yankees came about. It will probably never happen again, and it was a dumb mandate to begin with. So something like that happening, I promise you that something like that would never happen again. And I felt like they, in conjunction with what happened the season prior, they lumped it all together. And it was like, we don't trust Kyrie. When I think they should have separated it from last season and the season before. Now, if you look at it at that perspective from the mandate and the vaccine, and you take that aside, because that's something that I feel like will never happen again, or not in our lifetime, and you look at the season prior when he took those games off and didn't talk to the team, he came back from that and also played great in the playoffs, and then he got hurt out of his control. Something like the vaccine mandate, I don't think that's something they should have put so much stock into for them not wanting to give him a long-term deal. If I was a GM, I think I would have. I think I would have did it. Not only for the simple fact of what I just said, but also you got KD. You got KD attached to Kyrie, and you're going to lose both of them. You're going to lose both of them. And that's where we stand now, because KD, which is why I think he requested the trade, is because the Nets didn't want to give Kyrie a long-term deal. And now you saw Kyrie trying to weigh his options of a sign and trade for Russell Westbrook, or he trying to make his way to the Lakers, so a sign and trade for Russell Westbrook. And the Nets didn't want to do that. Who wants Russell Westbrook? Nobody wants Russell Westbrook. They don't have a deal. They're not giving up Anthony Davis. I wouldn't even want an Anthony Davis, a.k.a. street clothes. So I wouldn't have did a deal like that anyway. So I think Kyrie opts in. He gets his money, and he's probably either going to get traded or they're going to play out his year and go to the Lakers. And KD looking at it, he probably told KD, like, yo, they're not trying to give me a long-term deal. I'm out. And KD's like, yeah, I'm out too. Because they, you know what I mean? They best friends. So, and that's why I think we here today with KD requesting a trade. I think Kyrie's going to be traded. And the Nets are going to be rebuilding. You said it didn't affect the Warriors. The Warriors had Andrew Wiggins, who didn't get the vaccine, I think, at first, and then he got it. Andrew Wiggins is not a Kyrie Irving type of player on his squad. Point blank, period. It's not that big of an effect. Stop giving Kyrie excuses. He made his decision. I'm not giving him excuses. I'm not giving them excuses. I literally said I understood what Brooklyn did by keeping him as a not being able to play without the vaccine. I get it. If they would have stood on that, but they didn't stand on that. They didn't stand on that. They brought him back as a part-time player, and then at the end of the season wanted to say, oh, we want players that want to be here. So why did you bring Kyrie back when he didn't have the vaccine? Why did you bring him back? That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Shout out to the gamer 2323. He said Brooklyn Nets to the death of me. Respectfully, I'm going to always be a Nets fan. Nets need to get rid of Ben Simmons. Nah, I don't think so. If Ben Simmons can get his head straight, he's still a young player, still a talent in this league that I think you can build around. So look. So now, hold on. I want to see. I think Woj was talking about this. I wanted to talk about some of the teams that KD was interested in going to. Unfortunately, all of my favorite teams are cursed. I'm a Nets fan, I'm a Jets fan, and I'm a Mets fan. Cursed. All three teams. But hold on, let me see. So Woj, I know he tweeted out about KD. I think they were saying, oh, that was a few days ago. Hold up. Where's today? And listen, if anybody wants to get in here, let me know. I'll give you my Discord. Hit me up on Twitter, and we could chop it up. Actually, I'm about to open it up for my guy Ravishing Slick. Get my guy in here so we could chop it up. But I want to go over this KD stuff real quick. All right, here we go. Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks is working with Kevin Durant. Let me get let's make it a dark mode real quick. Make it easier on the eyes. Brooklyn Nets GM Sean Marks is working with Kevin Durant and his business manager Rich Kleiman on finding the trade for the franchise star. It's over for that. It's over. What else we got? Okay, Phoenix and Miami are among two of the teams that Kevin Durant has on his wish list. Sources tell ESPN, but the Nets plan to move Durant where they can get the best possible deal. With 4 years on his contract, there's no shortage of teams willing to unload assets for Durant. So KD wants to go to Phoenix or Miami. In terms of those two teams, I'd rather the Nets work out a deal with Phoenix because I feel like we can get the better young talent as well as some draft picks from them. With Phoenix, I feel like we can get DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, maybe even Cam Johnson and some draft picks for KD. I think that would be a pretty solid deal. They're not giving up Devin Booker, and they're not giving up fucking Chris Paul. So you can count those out. Nets trying to get Devin Booker. They're not giving up Devin Booker. Miami, only players Miami got that I would take is a Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, probably what's his name? Strauss. I like Strauss. And I think the other dude was Vincent. Is it Gabe Vincent? I like a Gabe Vincent and some draft picks. I'll take that deal, but again, I don't think Miami's giving up Bam Adebayo. They might give up Tyler Hero and those other guys. So I'd rather take the Phoenix deal. And yeah, Booker just signed a Supermax. So, and in terms of those two teams, I'd rather do a deal with Phoenix, get some young players back, some draft picks. And Kyrie, I don't know what they're going to do with Kyrie. He clearly wants to go to the Lakers. And the Nets are not trying to deal for Russell Westbrook. Nobody want that. Well, nobody want that contract for Russell Westbrook. I'm good. The Mets just lost 4 games. It'll be crazy if they fall apart. So yeah, let me holler at my guy Ravishing real quick. Get my guy up in here real quick because he a diehard Lakers fan. So I know he got a lot to say about this. He always on my back about this KD Kyrie situation. Man, I can't believe it. Let me call him up real quick. Oh, wait, I don't hear nothing. Is my mic right? All right. Yo. What y'all saying in the chat? KD should go to the Blazers or the Wizards. The Wizards? Nah. Nah, hell no. Phoenix definitely got the assets. Celtics might be willing to trade. Maybe. Knicks run New York. Listen, nobody care about the Knicks running New York. Knicks ain't going nowhere. My boy, Slick was good. You can hear me good? Yeah, I got you. You coming through clear. Let me... One day. Damn, you calling them Westbrook too? That's a fact. Oh, I know a lot. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, Slick. Hold up, Slick. Chat saying they can't hear you. Hold up. I know the problem. My fault. All right, hold on. I gotta change my desktop audio. Damn, I knew something like this was gonna happen.
Oh no, it's all good, man. Take your time.
All right, you should be good. Chat, let me know if y'all can hear Ravishing. He should be coming through clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got me?
Yeah, you should be good though. You should be good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. I don't know. You know what? The Kyrie Irving thing is kind of tricky, man. But I think it is the beginning of essentially the end, right?
Yeah.
I think didn't you guys just give up a draft pick today for Royce O'Neal?
Yeah, and I don't understand that because we about to be in rebuilding, so I don't understand why they did that.
Hey, you know what? But Pete, I don't think you guys are really going to start rebuilding. I think you guys are going to get major assets back for KD
and try to retool.
Right. Just try to retool. I know they just asked for D Book and he signed the max contract or whatever like that. Phoenix isn't going to come up off that, but if you guys can get AD.
Nobody want no AD, brother.
I'm sorry, DA. My bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what? Yeah, y'all can get DA and some draft assets. I think you guys are gonna be okay. I think the owner isn't gonna settle. Like this is basically gonna be the biggest haul for an NBA star we've ever seen in NBA history. Straight up. Like, I think this is gonna be the
I hope so.
For the farm.
Because look, in terms of like the type of player KD is, like he's still one of them guys. You know what I'm saying? He's still one of those players. He looked bad in the playoffs, and I don't know. He did get locked up, but I don't think that should be like a whole detriment on him as a player. He's still low. Hold up, I gotta turn the Discord up.
Is it me?
No, it's not you. I think I gotta turn you up in the Discord. Let me know if y'all can hear Ravish. Do a mic check real quick, Ravish.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Nah, you
check
good.
1 2 1 2. Can y'all hear me?
You good? You good in my ears. Let me turn
y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. But I'm hearing a couple of teams is calling, man. I heard Phoenix. I'm sorry, Memphis and Miami got a package.
Really?
Yeah, I'm hearing Memphis, man. A couple of young assets, maybe some picks. I mean, look, they're not going to trade him. Look, if they're not satisfied with the haul they can get back, then it's not like look. He's under 4 years, and there's no opt out, so they could just say, "Fuck it, we ain't got to trade you where you want to go. We can trade you where we get the best in return, right?"
Yeah.
And that's what. If I was New Jersey, man, that's what I would do. I think they put the foot down.
Man.
They basic.
You said New Jersey?
Hey, I'm not saying New Jersey. I'm saying Brooklyn. Hey, man, my bad. Man. Hey, man, I'm on.
Yo, damn.
My bad, Brooklyn.
Motherfuckers
Hey,
still
Brooklyn.
calling us Jersey. That's bad, man.
My bad. Hey, but I think you guys really called Kyrie's bluff. Like Brooklyn, the front office said, well, fuck it. Do what you want to do. Opt out. Do a sign and trade. Like, they really put their foot down and said, we're going to take control of this franchise. We're not. But
hold on. But that is my problem with the front office, though. It's like, what? Like, why now? Like, what?
Right.
What now is the reason that they want to put their foot down? Is it the combination of these past 2 seasons? Is it just the past season with the vaccine mandate? Like, why do you think now is like they're like, nah, we good. Like, nah, we cool.
Okay. You know what? The answer to that is kind of a 2-part thing. I think Kyrie, when he took the games off and then Harden became aloof, he kind of destroyed the morale of the team. Straight up. When he was taking off them games. And Harden is one of them niggas, man. He likes to party and getting them strip clubs.
Absolutely.
And do his thing. If you taking games, he put on a fat suit to get to New Jersey, my nigga. So he destroyed Kyrie. Essentially, what he did, he destroyed the morale of the locker room. So the team said, "Well, fuck it, we're gonna do a power play and get it back." But here's the thing: you're right. Why? Why did they hire a coach who had completely no? Like, why did they do this, dog? They set the table.
I didn't like that. I didn't like the Nash hire from the beginning. I didn't like it from the beginning.
I didn't either.
And they said that, that was a guy that KD and Kyrie wanted. And then Kyrie kind of came out and said, we don't need a coach. You know what I'm saying? We coach as a collective group and stuff like that.
Right.
And so, you know what I'm saying? People took that the wrong way. And, he apologized for it and stuff like that. But Nash should have been gone. If KD and Kyrie are going to be gone, I think Nash has to go too. I don't think Nash is equipped to run a team. I think he's a good assistant. He's a good guy you come to for the X's and O's, a guy to come to for what he sees within the game and what, what he can spot from a point guard's point of view or a guy who has played the game before. But from a coach's perspective, I think they run all over him. They run all over him, and he doesn't have. I don't think he has the voice enough to be able to tell guys like, look, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. He's kind of like, okay, I understand. You need to take some time off. All right, I get it. Like that's the kind of guy he is. And he never called the play. Ravish, you saw it.
Yeah, man. I told that man. We was look. You was one of the dudes I feared when it comes to trash talking. So I try not to engage too much, right? Yeah. I was hitting you with the light shit, right? But I saw those ISO, nigga. It was street ball. Like I couldn't believe what we were seeing. Him essentially do the same thing. Give KD the ball, get the fuck out the way. It was like, what are we doing? Dog, he was actually, I was talking to my brother about him, like, I don't really know which coach is worse, him or Vogel. Like, it was...
Shit, at least Vogel got a ring. I mean, I know it's a Mickey Mouse, but at least he got that shit.
Let's keep it. Look, I gotta keep it a stack with you. Look, man, if the pandemic doesn't happen, we don't win that ring. Hey, look, let's just keep it 100. 80 would have been hurt. If it was a full season, 80 would have been hurt, right? We would have hobbled into the postseason and got eliminated by Phoenix, somebody. Like, we would not have won that ring. We would not have. Like, he was healthy. He got 4 months off. We came in and ready to run. There was no home court advantage. You can say, well, everybody else had 4 months off too, right? Yeah. But not everybody's fucking street clothes and that injury prone. This nigga gets injured eating a fucking sandwich. Excuse my language.
Nah, you good.
Yeah,
you can curse over here.
On, man.
You good.
Let's keep it real, man. I was lightning in the bottle, homeboy. I'm a Laker fan. Look, I go back to Magic and Worthy. Like, I was born into this. I go back to Showtime. Yeah. Kareem, Coop, all that. Coop was from Pasadena. Like, I go back to the 80s, dog. We would not have won that ring had there not been a pandemic. Let's just 100. This dude, we need to get rid of AD immediately. Yeah. Immediately.
But I feel like y'all got two assets that's gonna be hard to get rid of, with Russell Westbrook and he isn't expiring, but I'm saying, and then AD. I don't know how many years AD has left on his contract.
He's got 3.
3 years. He's very injury prone at this point. So it's going to be hard. But they saying Kyrie made it known he's coming to LA. He's coming to the Lakers. He's going
I mean,
there.
the only thing, the only thing they could really do realistically is do a buyout, right? Like, is New Jersey really willing to do a trade with the Lakers? I mean, they can get the Westbrook contract and get it off the books after this year, but
Yeah,
I
it might
mean,
have to be
why
like a
would they
3-team
accommodate
deal,
him?
right? It might have to be a 3-team deal, where the Nets. I mean, somebody takes on Westbrook, the Lakers get Kyrie, and then the Nets, get some, some young players and some assets out of the deal.
Yeah, the
Draft picks and
Lakers
stuff
gonna
like
have
that.
to. Yeah, they'll have to throw in either THT or Kendrick Nunn, a nigga who didn't play. Clutch Sports, by the way, they signed a dude who was completely injured for the year. Yeah,
Yo,
Pelinka,
that Kendrick Nunn deal looked good when it first happened.
dog, like,
that shit looked
how do you-
amazing.
How do you sign a guy who's not going to contribute for a whole year, and you give him $5 million? Like, can you imagine? Like, yeah, just go home. We're gonna give you $5. We're gonna give you $10 million, $5 million this year, and you'll never have to do nothing. Like, come, dog, this is. Anyway, man, I don't know which team is in the worst. At least you guys are gonna get a haul back. I mean, yeah, we got the Mickey Mouse ring, but let's keep it real, dog. It was a fluke. Like, this isn't real, man.
That's not a ring you hanging your hat on. Like, that's something that you parading around.
The only thing I'm happy as a Laker fan is that we're finally tied with that bum ass franchise in Boston that actually won the majority of the rings when there was like 5 teams in the league.
Oh yeah, when they was going against plumbers and electricians and shit like that. Yeah, motherfuckers
Exactly.
that bring a lunch pail to work and play in the league by night. You know what I'm saying?
Brooklyn, I just, man, I'm not even celebrating this, dog. Like, I'm actually looking at the franchise like, dog, Kyrie really ruined this franchise. They really,
I don't know.
He just wasted 3 years.
Yes, it was a waste. Like, but I'm not ready to put the full blame. I'm just not ready to put the full blame on him. Oh, like, all right, can you blame him for it? Yes. But
Right.
am I mad at him? No. That's how I'm gonna say, because if you look at everything that happened, he's the source. He's the like the root of it all when it comes to being in Brooklyn. Period. He wanted to link up with KD. KD comes. They signed KD because they signed Kyrie because he comes with KD. Boom. James Harden coming to the team. James Harden comes because of KD and Kyrie, who are there because of Kyrie. We give up young assets and draft picks. Boom. James Harden leaves. It's because Kyrie doesn't get the vaccine and he's not full time, and James Harden don't want to deal with that. And then KD wants a trade. It's because Nets don't want to sign Kyrie long term. And KD's not trying to play there without Kyrie, or at least another bona fide superstar. So yes, you can blame literally Kyrie for all of this. But I'm not mad at him because of the situation with the pandemic and how I feel about the vaccine shot. And how I felt that they got dealt a bad hand last season. And I felt that this season would have been a good season to rectify a lot of it and extend these guys and start fresh with a Ben Simmons that's trying to also prove himself and come back from a terrible departure from Philly. And
You know what? I agree with you, but I'm actually going to disagree with you. I feel that Kyrie had an obligation to do what he needed to do to fulfill that. Like, he was the reason why KD. Look, man, I've always said this. When KD left OKC for Golden State, the team that eliminated him, I said this dude made the right decision, a good decision for a follower and a bad decision for a leader. I always knew that KD was a follower. Straight up. He's a follower. So it needed, like, where's the leadership at? I felt that Kyrie should have went through it. Dog, when you're getting paid that kind of money to play this game, listen, man, we 9 to 5 people, regular life or whatever like that.
Right.
It's optional. I get it. I didn't take, I'm not, till this day, I'm not vaccinated. And I fought COVID and I beat the shit. But when you're making that amount of money, man, and you're an icon. You're not a regular person. You know what I mean? You're a public figure, celebrity, professional athlete. You got to do your due diligence, man, and be a leader and step up to the plate and do what needed to be done. He didn't do that. I felt like he let them down in that regard, fam. I'm gonna keep it real with you. And James Harden, really, the essential part, we could say I'm blaming Kyrie for dismantling this team. But that James Harden trade, I said, you motherfuckers back. Like, right? Like, are we talking, how many swaps? Like 3,
Bro,
4?
We gave up Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, a couple other players, and then it's like 4. I think it's like either 4 picks and 3 swaps, or 3 picks and 4 swaps, or some shit like that.
Yeah,
it's something
4
nutty.
Picks with 3 swaps.
Yeah, it's something nutty.
That's crazy.
And we got a few picks back when we traded James Harden to the 76ers. But them swaps and shit like that, we might be trash those years. And and Houston gonna have those picks.
Let me ask you this though. I heard you say earlier that you keep Ben Simmons. I kind of think you probably should move off of him.
I don't. So with Ben Simmons, like, he's not the player that Philly wanted him to be, and I don't think he'll ever be a shooter. I just don't think that's his game. I think he's like a Rondo-esque type of player where I know Rondo eventually developed his shot. But when Rondo was on Boston, he was a pass-first point guard, couldn't shoot. And Ben Simmons is also a great defender. So I think that's somebody you can still build around. You just need to surround him with players that can get their own bucket or get open and knock down shots. And
he's definitely a world-class defender still.
Yeah.
But
why do you feel like we should get rid of him? Why do you feel like that?
But because he's in Brooklyn, you can't. Let's keep it real, right? The biggest market in the world,
right?
Mentally, it's just mentally, man. He can't do it. He can't develop or dog. If you look at Lonzo Ball, right, when he came in the league,
right,
his shot was gone. He didn't have a shot. It was broken. Even he's been able to develop, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And become a decent shooter now. I think he's shooting maybe 40% from the field.
Yeah, I think
maybe
it was like almost
30,
40 from three, like 30-something%.
Yeah. It's something crazy, right? So I think being in a big market, it just because Philly, you know, I mean, those fans are really hard, but being in New York City is a whole other thing, man. It's like more microscopes, kind of like playing for the Lakers.
Yeah,
you know
the media is gonna come down on you in Philly. I mean, and New York.
You're gonna be on a microscope. Yeah, so I kind of feel like maybe he needs to be in a smaller market. But you're right though. Maybe that's just never gonna be his game. Maybe he's just gonna be a 6'10", defensive facilitator. You know what I'm saying? But he's a young asset though. How old is he? I think like
25. He just turned 25.
25. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he's still young. He got time to develop, man. But I just think Brooklyn, y'all like LA, man. You know, when you're in New York City, you got to come with it. You gotta be the real deal, man. Or your shit, they gonna be on your ass, and you may not even come out of that. You know what I'm saying? So the thing with the, going back to L.A., we've always known that AD was injury prone when he was in New Orleans. But he was in New Orleans. Nobody cared and gave a damn.
Right.
Now that he's in L.A., he's street clothes.
He's street clothes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy, fam. And you know what? I just want, believe it or not, in my heart, I just wanted Brooklyn to be better than the Clippers.
We couldn't even do that for you, my guy.
It's just.
We couldn't even do that for you, my guy.
Killing me, man. But
like,
anyway,
it was bad. Like I couldn't even say, like, looking back on the past 3 years that, it ends, but it wasn't even a good time. Like literally, I was stressed every season. The first season with no KD, the second season with Kyrie missing games, the third season with the pandemic. It's like, it was always something. And I thought this season might be like a little bit different with everybody coming back on board, the pandemic behind us, James Harden behind us, Ben Simmons with a new destination. I thought this might be the season where we could make it right. And then KD requested trade. I'm like, fuck, it's over. It's over.
I feel you. Had KD's foot been a half inch shorter,
bro,
y'all would have had a chip. Y'all would have had a chip.
It's a whole different story.
Y'all would have had a chip, man. Y'all would have had it.
I'm literally about to be about like that X-Men, the Wolverine meme where he's sitting in the bed and he got the picture and shit. I'm gonna have that picture with the fucking KD shot. Yeah, a fucking KD foot on the line. Like, what could have been? What could have been, man?
Oh, but I think the franchise is doing the right thing though by putting their foot down. Hopefully, y'all got a good haul back for KD. I don't even, man, I'm just kind of scratching my head like, damn. Like, I mean, it could be worse. Y'all could be the Lakers. Y'all could be.
So is it official that Nets is like the biggest disappointment in terms of like a super team in NBA history? Like,
that's the Lakers.
No, it can't be. It can't be. No, I don't give a fuck about what type of ring it was. When we look back on history, all it's gonna say is y'all won a chip. Not a lot of people gonna know it was during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? The Nets is gonna be. You had 3 top 15 players, and you couldn't even win 2 playoff series. You couldn't even win.
We had. How many Hall of Famers did we have on this team coming into this season, fam?
But y'all, like I said, y'all got a chip. Y'all got one.
No. I'm talking about, dog. That don't matter. We're talking about this year. The Lakers are the greatest letdown in professional sports history this year. Straight up. You had Westbrook, LeBron, AD, Dwight Howard. You had a dog. We had Malik Monk. Like, you had these niggas on these shoestring contracts. Like, dog, the Lakers should have been. We didn't. Fam, y'all made the postseason. We didn't even make a play-in.
We made the postseason and got swept. We didn't even win a game. We might as well not have made it. We didn't even win a game. Bro, that don't mean shit. Bro, we were supposed to at least get a game. You better off not even making it when you get swept like that and embarrassed. You got embarrassed like that, and I know at that point we didn't have the 3 Hall of Famers, but still, as 2 superstars like that, you get embarrassed like that, man. Nah, I can't. I ain't going.
Y'all in the chat, get the likes up. Let us know what team was more disappointing. I say the LA Lakers. And I think that's the biggest disappointment in professional sports history. We thought we was really, we really thought we was going to the finals. We really thought we was going to run through Phoenix and Golden State this year, fam.
I do remember that. I remember that offseason, this past offseason, when y'all was sliding on them players. Niggas was like, that ain't even fair. The Lakers is cheating. This is crazy.
Dog, it seemed like our cap was unlimited.
Unlimited.
How are they signing these dudes, dog? So
I said they got Malik Monk for how much? This is crazy.
Yeah, Malik Monk, Kendrick Nunn. I thought, hey, man, it is what it is. But I think, if you could, my only question would be this. Would you take back the 3 years and keep that young team with LeVert and Russ, D'Angelo Russell, that was kind of bubbling and becoming something Dinwiddie? Would you keep that core, or would you, Jared Allen was a beast. He was a beast.
And you know what pissed me off about that too? And I blame Nash, is Nash didn't even want to play him over DeAndre fucking Jordan. Over DeAndre. Yeah, he was trying to please probably Katie and Kyrie, but see, and if he was a real fucking head coach, he was supposed to stand up to them and say, no, Jared Allen is the better fucking player. He's starting at center. Fuck all that DeAndre Jordan bullshit. And that should have been the first sign right there to let us know that Steve Nash ain't no fucking head coach. He's a fucking yes man.
Let me ask you this, though. What team signed DeAndre Jordan right after y'all knew he was washed?
The Lakers.
What coach had him in the starting lineup after y'all said, you know what? He's done. Like, hello? Like, come on, dog. You can't tell me the Lakers were more disappointing than the Nets.
Weren't,
come
bro.
On, man.
They weren't.
They were. Absolutely, dog.
I'm throwing up a poll. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all votes in there. Let us know what y'all think what the biggest flop of a super team was. Lakers or the Nets, because this is crazy. But now you was kind of like asking me a question about what I like, keep that young core. Looking back, hindsight 2020, I think I do the D'Angelo Russell signing trade for KD and still bring on Kyrie, but that's where I stop. That's where I would stop because I still think with those pieces, like even when Kyrie got hurt last season in the playoffs when we went against Milwaukee, if you have a Jared Allen and a LeVert and a couple of those other guys, I still think that's a good enough squad to even like get through a Milwaukee, because KD was out of his fucking mind that series, and you just needed a couple of other guys that can create for their own or play some good defense and get a couple stops on the other end. And Karis LeVert was a guy developing his own, and Jared Allen was that guy that can get you a couple stops on the defensive end. And so I think that was our biggest like mistake. But you do some shit like that, I think as a GM, like how do you say no to that? Like as a GM, how do you look when you say no to a James Harden, Kyrie, and KD trio when it's in your face? Like how do you say no to that?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Everything would have been perfect had they actually just not did James Harden and actually got a real coach. Then y'all would have definitely been.
Yo, we should have kept the coach that Boston had. He was on our squad last year. Udoka?
Yeah.
He was he was like the defensive coordinator, and D'Antoni was like the offensive coordinator. And fucking and
I thought y'all should have kept Jacques Vaughn. Actually,
well, Jacques Vaughn was there, but he was assistant. Yeah, he was an assistant as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
he's a long-time assistant.
Yeah, Nash is a fraud. I need him going too. He's a fraud.
Man. Well, man, I'm not going to hold you, man. Thank you for letting me come through, man.
Absolutely.
I really do enjoy the opportunity.
Yes.
You're my guy. You always been my dude. A1,
Absolutely.
Day one.
You already know.
And, whenever I come through and talk a little trash, I'm just I'm not trying to get that flame.
Nah,
You're my guy.
this might give me the push I need to start my basketball podcast. So if I need somebody, I'm gonna definitely holler at you, bro.
Hey man, real. I'm just keeping it real, man. No gas and nothing.
Yeah.
Hey man, you better than the basketball dudes, man. You should do this. I think you really found your niche, my guy. Like this is it.
I appreciate that.
100, man. When I started listening to you, I'm like, yo, my girl called. I'm like, look, baby girl, I gotta call you back. I'm like, yo, let me listen to my guy. And I started really tuning in and was engaged, man. You got something, man. Real shit. Real talk.
I appreciate that, my guy. I'm gonna holler at you though. Definitely in the future.
100. All right, talk.
bro.
Y'all take it easy. Salute.
Yes, sir. Peace. Shout out to my guy Ravishing Slick for pulling up on us, but you know, like I said to him, this might be the start I need to start a basketball podcast or just a show where I talk about basketball, maybe some other type of sports. I'm a big basketball fan. Like I know starting lineups for teams that's like in last place. Like my brother tells me that all the time. I know guys that I shouldn't know. Like I know information about a lot of basketball stuff. So maybe I'll do some more things like this where we talk sports, break down some free agency, some playoffs, some season stuff, and get in tune. But shit, we've been here for about an hour. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. At the end of the day, like I was telling Ravish, you could blame Kyrie for a lot of things that have happened with this team, including KD requesting a trade. But I will not be mad at the decisions he has made last season in terms of the pandemic and stuff like that. I can't be mad at him over that. Maybe the season before when he took that hiatus, yes, but not the decisions he made last year, especially with that bogus ass mandate. So KD, he's gonna get the trade he wanted. He wants. They honor stars these days in terms of trade request. Kyrie, I think the Nets didn't want to sign him anyway, so he opted in, got his money. They're gonna try and figure out how to trade him, or he's gone after the season. And yeah, we back to rebuilding, back to irrelevancy for the Nets. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Shout out to Rise Star. He said if I got a baseball topic, I'll pull up. I'll definitely be talking baseball. I'm a big Mets fan, so the fact that the Mets are doing pretty good. Actually, we're on a bit of a losing streak right now, but they're doing pretty good overall. I definitely could do some baseball topics. So, excuse me. I'll definitely have you back. And shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out the door. Appreciate the love and the support. And don't forget to hit that poll before y'all get out of here. Who was the biggest, flop of a super team, the Lakers or the Nets? So far, we got 21 votes that say 67% say the Nets and 33% say it was the Lakers. So get y'all last little votes in before we get up out of here. And leave in the comments where y'all think KD and Kyrie will end up as players in terms of new teams. KD says he wants to go to the Suns or the Miami Heat. Kyrie saying he wants to go to the Lakers. Where do y'all think they end up? Rodrigo, I'm actually about to get up out of here, so make sure you watch back. We had some good discussions about, what's been going on with the Brooklyn Nets. Sad day for us, but it's over, man. It's over. Let's play this video one last time to see the joy on my face about when we, one of the best days in my life in terms of a sports fan. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. I'm so hyped right now. KD coming to the Brooklyn Nets. It's going down him, Kyrie. I'm so hyped right now. KD coming to the Brooklyn Nets. It's going down him, Kyrie. Damn. I'm so hyped right now. Literally 3 years to the day. 3 years to the day. June 30th. I'm out, y'all. Peace.